Board of Trustees of Crystal City Independent School District will meet in special session at 6 p.m. Monday, February 22nd, 2021 in the Administrative Building Boardroom, 613 West Savannah Street, Crystal City, Texas, 78339. Number one, call meeting to order. Ms. Carlos. Number two, roll call and establishment of a quorum. Ms. Carlos.
Mr. Eric Garcia.
Here.
Mr. Ray Espinosa.
Here.
Mr. Cruz Mata will be absent today. Mr. Victor Bonilla. Here. Mrs. Nora Flores Guerrero.
Present.
Mrs. Melissa Marquez Guerrero. And Mrs. Peggy Young.
Here.
For the record, Mr. Mata is absent and we do have a quorum. Number three, moment of reflection. Number four, audience of patrons. Nobody signed up? No. Nobody did? Thank you, sir. Number five, action, 5A, the emergency item added due to school closures as a result of dangerous weather. Resolution of the Crystal City Independent School District Board of Trustees regarding emergency closure due to dangerous weather. Mr. Serna.
Or you guys do have a resolution 21-29 as presented. There was a question as well. We did have some employees who came in to work during the closure just to maintain the facilities and correct some water main breaks that were occurring in some buildings. I did provide to you also DEA logo, which does allow the board to go ahead and have some premium pay for those employees who did the closure. That item has not been added to the resolution at this time.
To pay them?
Excuse me?
To pay them?
To pay them.
It's not here.
To pay the employees who showed up during the closure,
Right.
the emergency,
They were mostly maintenance people.
maintenance people.
It's included in the resolution.
Is it?
The second to the last line. First page.
Is it the one dated 21 to 29 resolution?
129.
2120.
It says whereas district board policy a logo, and then it says during emergency closure.
What about the ones that serve the community?
They would also, they
Are
plugged in,
included?
yes, ma'am,
Or the cafeteria people,
correct.
the cooks and everything.
Mr. Serna, the week off is not going to affect anybody, their pay, correct?
No, it shouldn't. That's what
Everybody's
this
going to
resolution,
get paid as usual, right?
You know how many employees total are affected by this that will get the premium pay?
and at this time, no, I don't, but I can get that information for you.
It's okay, I mean, policy says we do it, so.
Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Any questions, sir?
No.
Ms. Young? Ms. Guerrero? Mr. Bonilla, you got any questions?
No, sir, that's on resolution A, right?
Yes.
Yes. Ms. Melissa Guerrero, you got any questions? At this time, I entertain any motions.
I motion that we approve the resolution.
All right, I got a motion on the floor by Mr. Espinosa.
I'll second.
Got a second by Nora Guerrero. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion. Yes, sir, I see you. Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. All right, item B, discussion, action to authorize the purchase of high school football uniforms as matters related thereto. I believe we got Athletic David Lopez, who has approached Mr. Saturday in regards to this matter, and he'll go ahead and present.
Thank you all for having me. I did go old school. I made a folder, and I'm gonna go in order. Rydell, I came last year about this time, right before COVID hit, bringing that we're gonna have to replace 32 helmets because they age out. It's a law called Natasha's Law. Because concussions 10 years ago were the main topic. Okay, and at 10 years ago, I remember I came to the board and I wanted to buy 36. They had come out with this new design called a SpeedFlex helmet that absorbs the frontal lobe. It has little cave-in technology, and it's a very, very light helmet. And one of the board members said, well, how many do you really need to outfit the team? And at that time, or at least the varsity team. And I said, probably about 36. So I bought 3 dozen, which was 36 at the time. And well, we've gone full circle. That 10 years came and went in the blink of an eye. So last year when it came, we recondition every year, by the way, and they reject helmets due to cracking, breaking, face masks, and some get rejected. So when he went up there, even though we purchased 36 10 years ago, 32 of them are not going to pass inspection this year. They will be discarded, destroyed. Okay, so when I came last year, I said, hey, we're going to have this problem. And Rydell, which is the helmet company, said, if you like, Coach, we have this offer. He said, and we offer for every 50 garments, because they sell uniforms, we'll give you 7 helmets. So the first page is what you see there. It's $24,000, but it's 50 home jerseys, 50 away jerseys, 50 home pants, and 50 away pants. And that qualifies us for 28 free helmets. So when next year rolls around, we don't have to buy 36 of them because we're getting 28, and we're getting uniforms with it. Okay, and that was a heck of a deal. The next page I put is BSN Sports, and that's a Nike uniform. And that one is $15,000, and that's with only 1 pair of pants. It's a home and away jersey and 1 pair of pants, but we still got to buy the 32 or 36 helmets. And the reason I say 36 is if you buy it, they give you the baker's dozen for every 11, they give you 1 for every 11, they give you 1 for every 11. So that's why. And behind that BSN quote is the actual quote for the 36 helmets, which is $13,000. So even though taking the Rydell deal where you buy the uniform from Rydell and you receive the free helmets, it saves the district $5,000 that you don't have to, or $4,000 and change, that you don't have to go out and buy 32 helmets next year, because they're not going to pass, they're just aged out. And mainly that's the biggest issue. Behind that, and helmet reconditioning has always been something that I would like the board to maybe create a separate line item. As you can see, last year for the high school reconditioning, and then we had to pay fall bill, which is this we have to pay out of this year's school budget. It was $6,206 for the high school reconditioning. And for the junior high reconditioning, it was $2,657. So, and roughly, that's what we average, about $9,000 in reconditioning that has to be done every year because the helmets have to be inspected. If somebody gets hurt, you wanna make sure it's not because the equipment was faulty. Basically, you know, the right note saying, hey, this helmet is good to use. So behind that, what I did, I put the 2018 fall bill purchase order, and the reason I put that is because my football budget is $12,000, and every year, as you can see, I purchased $11,157 worth of football equipment, and it was practice pants, it was cleats, footballs, no helmets, no shoulder pads, nothing of that sort. Stuff that we need to outfit the kids. I mean, we're 114 strong program is what we are. And in 2016, it's $12,000 and it's fall billed. And also cleats, girdles that we have to buy because the girdles tear and whatnot. It's a wear and tear sport. It's a very physical sport. And the reason I wanted a separate line item for the reconditioning is I get a $12,000 budget for football, but since we always fall bill the reconditioning, it comes out of football, so really I'm always in the hole $10,000 every year for the last 8-9 years. You know, it's just it's an expense. It's an expensive sport. You know, one helmet costs probably, you know, with 2 helmets you could probably outfit all the volleyball team in uniforms. You know, about $800 for 2 helmets. So I mean, you know, and that's why I included those quotes in there, so you can see that we're always spinning our wheels, and it always looks like football gets it all, but really we don't. You know, I think out of a general athletics, it keeps me from buying weights, weight belts, stuff like that, because we need to outfit the kids for safety. You know, because safety is our main priority, and you know, we want the kids to be safe. We want them to feel good and look good about themselves. And there's no saying, you look good, you play good. And, you know, the last time we bought it was 2017, uniforms, and, well, you know, they're wear and tear. And you know, it's time, but more important, in order to save the district money, it's a good time to buy it, because of the helmet, you know, promotion that they have going. The only thing is, they were gonna, today was the last day we could have purchased it, and I told them, hey, because of the weather, we extended the board meeting, so they extended to Thursday, but they have to have a purchase order by then for that. So basically what I'm asking is for y'all to approve the purchase of the uniforms with the helmet offer from Rydell, and if we could pay the reconditioning, or at least create a line item for helmet reconditioning, where it really doesn't take away from the football equipment that needs to be bought. Because they haven't reconditioned this year, and it might be lower this year, because 32 of them we know are going to be rejected. So there will be, it should not be as high this year, but I just don't want it taken out of next year's budget. Here we are again in the hole, you know.
I have a question, Coach.
Yes, sir.
How often do you have to realign? I mean, what's the lifespan of the helmets? Where you have to do this
How often do I have to recondition? Every year.
every year?
Every year we recondition because
But it's not the same helmet, right?
Well, some are. What they do, they fill in the cracks. If it's not good, they discard it because they want to cover themselves as well. You know, they're going to put our quality product. Sometimes it's just a face mask. They replace the face mask. You know, but if the helmet is damaged, cracked, scratched, it is discarded. And I buy new helmets when they're discarded. But the lifespan is 10 years. That's it. It just happened that it hit us all at once because of the situation, and it was a big freshman class coming in. I don't know if y'all remember, you know, Joseph Lopez, Carlos Flores, all those guys, when they were coming in as freshmen, they came in 40 strong. It was the first year, and ever since then, the last 7-8 years, we've had 3 teams, an average of 40 kids per team. So about 120 or so. But by the time the season ends, you're looking about 110. But in the beginning, we have to be able to outfit everyone. And since I'm always in the hole, I do have an account called athletic equipment that has about $6,000 in it. And I pull from that, so I haven't bought weights, I haven't bought dummies, I haven't been able to purchase other stuff because we're always reconditioning. And I did talk to other athletic directors, specifically I spoke to Coach Quisenberry from Divine. And I asked him, how do you do, and this is why I came to Mr. Kevin, I said, how do you do reconditioning in Divine? He says, oh, I have a separate line item, and it's for reconditioning, shoulder pads, and helmets. He said, I have $16,000 line item that if I need a helmet, any reconditioning, or if I need shoulder pads, that's where I take out of. He said, then I have my separate football budget, which is $12,000 like ours. He said, but I buy the cleats, I buy the mouthpieces, I buy the compressions, the belts, well, whatever, the knee pads, the girdles, whatever's needed. He said, I buy from there. And I would like it.
So right now, you don't have one, you don't have a cushion, you don't have anything separate.
No, and I actually start with 3,000, every year I start with 3,000, so I take out of athletic equipment to get to the football, but then baseball needs a bat because I don't have money or where I could, yeah, you can make an amendment or whatever, but it's already depleted from the beginning. And that's why I would like maybe, pay the reconditioning for this year and create a line item specifically for that, but don't take it out of what we have, because we really don't have much. Let's create one maybe from the fund balance or something to add some to the, and I call it the monster, but man, we have one of the best programs in South Texas. And look in the last 6-7 years, nobody really compares to us in every sport. We're the engine that drives, and I told Mr. Maybe next year, if kids want to play, maybe they should come in person. Because I'm missing lifting them, I'm missing building the athlete, We're doing well in the skill sports, the basketballs, the baseballs, the volleyballs, but the power sport, we saw the difference. We got pushed around, and we had plenty of fight. We had plenty of toughness, plenty of heart. We played to the end. It's the off season, the strength, the conditioning, the building of the athlete that we were missing this year. But really, I just want to keep them safe, and I want to be able to have money to give somebody else instead of everybody pointing to football, because really it's not football, it's safety that depletes us more than anything.
Coach, so the budget that you're saying, that you have, that you take to get some of this stuff, that's on your whole athletic budget, right? Because you have some for baseball.
I do have some for baseball.
This is football.
Yeah, but it's not, and we've been.
No, I know, you're not gonna take away from the other.
Yes, sir, but even like that, we've been scratching the surface, and last year I brought you a comparison of 2006 to 2019 or 18, and there was more money, and basically the three items I'm looking for is the supplies, the meals, and the trip. There was more money in 2006 than 2018, 2019, and it had been 14 years, and there's no reason for that, because I got here in 2009, and we had a varsity JV only, and kids hardly came out. Then we turned it around, it doubled every sport, and the budgets were cut and cut and cut. And I understand we were, in the oil field, it hurt us, but man, now I just don't want it to hurt the whole program. And, people talk about, even junior high football in 2006, they had a $5,000 budget. So, oh, great. I have a $500 budget. It's 10 times less than 2006. And, it's been frustrating the last 8 years. And it does look like football is the monster.
Is there any reason behind why they've given you less? Have you questioned that?
I have, it's just, well, wait till we get out of this You know, that was the thing. And then, oh, well, we're gonna build a school and it's great that we did. Don't get me, because, you know, we needed it, because we had been outdated. But those were, some of the reasons.
We have only X amount of dollars to work with.
Yeah, no.
You know, we have education and that kind of thing, so.
Oh, I know, but, you know, if we go, if the athletes were to go in person first, we can't change the rules in the middle of the game, but now in hindsight, had the kids, hey, you wanna play, go in person, we'd have better attendance, we would have, you know, less problems with the virtual learning, because for one, they would have structure and
Better grades.
and I'd be right on them. I mean, because, you know,
all ties
I'm a mean
together.
guy, but, I mean, you know, I really can't get a hold of them right now. It's very, we hosted three powerlifting meets, and I struggled to get volunteers. And nobody I know, hey, we're here Saturday. Yes, sir, because they're going to see me Monday. Now it's like, you know, we were able to pull it off, but I can feel myself losing the grip. And, you know, I'm an administrator and I help the principal as much as I can, and he helps me as much as he can. And, you know, because we're a team, it's not, oh, it's athletics. Hey, we're CCI ISD. You know, we want to put a good product and we want our kids to look good. And even the kids that do get posted, you see a regional new weight room. And I said, well, yeah, that's what you put in the weight room. It's true, but man, it'd be nice to, you know, have something like that.
Let me ask you, Coach, when was it that you came to the board with the same request last year?
Last year, sir, at this time, and then
And,
I was directed to take it to, at that time, the interim superintendent. And then COVID hit, and that was the end of that.
but why didn't you come to us like you're coming right now?
Well, that's what
I think-
last
Oh,
year,
yeah, but
Like maybe 2 years
you
ago.
go for it, I mean, we
yeah, you took,
kind of, just put it aside.
there was no action taken.
I mean, the board didn't vote for it, right?
No, nobody voted.
They just told you, go speak.
Correct, yeah, they said, and then that was it. And that's why when we pitched the baseball, that's why I brought your attention, it still hasn't gone away. It's gonna be something we have to take action on. You know, unless we just keep spinning our wheels and we fall better, but we're just gonna be spinning our wheels. When really, from what I heard the last meeting, we've got money that we can put into the athletics. And I understand we're an athletic, we're an educational institution, but athletics is part of it. There's a reason Clemson put out a football team. It's an educational institution. There's a reason UNC, it brings in, it brings pride to the kids. It's bigger than the school district. It's a community. It brings pride to the community. When we win, the community wins. When we struggle, that's why they were upset when we couldn't start sports. The community wanted something to hang on to, and now they're hanging on to it. Hey, we're doing well in basketball.
But right now, what is the total money we're asking?
Well, I would like, the uniforms, which is 24,601, and then whatever the reconditioning is, and then maybe create a line item for reconditioning.
So that amount of the 100 uniforms, 50 home, 50 away, is that correct?
That is correct.
And that includes, if that's the purchase, it includes 28 free helmets?
Free Speed Flex helmets, the top of the line, the 5-star helmet, and, so next year, if I need 6, because I don't know how COVID's gonna affect it. It hurt us this year. We had 80 kids, not 100, but if things seem to be getting back to normal, we're gonna go back to the program that we were, which is, where I pray every day. I hope it's 100 plus, and it, you know, it's a problem, but it's a good problem to have.
And the other thing you were asking is, you have your football budget, but you also have your recondition budget. So that it won't be taken away from.
Correct. Yes, because it's something that has to be done every year anyway, and it's a safety issue. Why not?
It's for the sake of the kids,
It is for the safety of the kids,
safety of the kids,
and safety of us, and safety of the company.
liability.
So that's all I'm asking, is for those two things. I'm sure the community, you know, parents that have kids playing, they want them looking sharp, they want them safe.
Well, it's not the sharpness, or it's a safety thing.
Yeah.
Mainly, it's a safety, the
It
helmet.
is, that's the main,
I mean, I seen teams that don't look that sharp. Helmet is good and they win, so it's, to me, it's more safety than looking sharp for me.
I agree.
Any more questions? Mr. Bonilla, you got any questions?
No,
Ms. Guerrero, Melissa? Ms. Young?
I'm going to abstain from this. I'm not going to vote on it because we are $50,000 overdrawn on our attorney fees. I checked today, we're $50,000 overdrawn. We cannot be in an overdraft. That's illegal. You're supposed to work within your budget. I cannot justify buying new uniforms in February when we have made no attempt to correct the overdraft. It's not the time to talk about it. It affects our first rating, it affects our accreditation rating when we look like that in our books.
Mr. Espinosa, any questions?
I don't have any, sir. I already asked them. The only comment, I mean, is that, and I agree with Peggy 100% on being in the hole on, but it seems like if we don't approve this, we would be punishing our football program because of, we just have to.
It's only February.
And look at,
It's only February.
yeah,
We don't even know what kind of money we're getting in.
but then, I mean, we're gonna need them, be February or not, because.
When's the deadline for this, Ms. Coates?
The deadline is Thursday. Now, I did put, if you just want to buy the helmets by themselves, I did put it's $13,000. If you want to buy the helmets by themselves, but you won't get any uniforms,
So we buy them together, we're saving how much?
358. Because it's 24,000 for 100 uniforms and 28 helmets.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
what was, can we ask, Mr. Tena, what was, Superintendent Churchill's, recommendation or just comments in reference to this particular action item?
His recommendation is that we just approve the need for these helmets. As some of these helmets are not gonna make reconditioning, they are gonna be canceled out. They're gonna be discarded.
They're gonna be aged out, which means they won't pass inspection.
Yeah, I understand that part, so, but, his recommendation is that it don't.
Well, the recommendation, sir, is that Rydell Company is giving him a deal where if he purchases 100 uniforms, 50 away, 50 home, he gets 28 free helmets into that deal in the amount for 24,000. If he goes with helmets only, the helmets is gonna be 36 in the amount of $12,000, just under 13.
The 28 helmets, they're approved by the state, the feds, everybody.
Yes. Yeah, they would be brand new, so they're automatically certified.
So, Mr. President, if this is the occasion, then I move that we approve the recommendation.
Okay. I have Mr. Bonilla who has motion
To approve,
to approve what, sir? The purchase of the uniforms and the helmet, or just the helmets?
Oh, the uniforms and the helmet.
Sir, can you ask him if he wants to include in dividing the budget also, because I think that's what they're requesting.
The line item?
Yeah,
How can we do that? It's not on the budget. I mean.
well, I mean, for next year,
So
not for now, for next year, I mean.
the other thing the athletic director is asking, sir, is he's reached out to other districts where they have a separate line item, which I know we can't do now, but it's something to consider in the future. 2 separate line items. One of them is strictly for uniform, helmet, shoulder pads, and then the rest is for everything else, such as cleats, compressions, mouthpieces, stuff like that.
It's the reconditioning.
Or the reconditioning, correct.
Separate.
Separate.
But if that's not part of the action item, I guess that's what we're gonna have to consider later.
Correct. We'll have to bring it up on that line item.
Yes.
recommendation to approve the purchase of the uniforms, which will include, the district giving 28 helmets free of charge, right?
Correct.
That's my motion.
Thank you, sir. So at this point, I have Mr. Bonilla, who has authorized to purchase the high school football uniforms. Any seconds?
I'll second.
I got a second by Ms. Nora Guerrero.
I have a question, one more question.
Go ahead, sir.
What what would be the number of helmets that you're reconditioning if we approve this?
Pardon?
What would be the number of helmets that you're reconditioning if we approve this?
What do you,
Well, I don't know how many will pass inspection, they have not.
No, right now. So this is how many right now?
this is for 28,
28, well, 28.
Well, there might be some more,
Yeah, a couple, depending on COVID, kind of rolling the dice, we might still have enough.
so how many are you gonna send that they have to look at or what?
There's 32 that are aged out, and we're getting 28 free.
Okay.
So it kind of balances. And to be honest, there should have been 36, so that means 4 were probably rejected somewhere down the line, within the last 10 years. But it was brought to my attention last year, and I did bring it to superintendent's attention in January, and I did mention it, 32 helmets are still, on the table, they're gonna be rejected. And, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it because they're aged out. Now, granted, we won't get hit by 32 ever again until 10 years from now, or 28, because that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
what's the unit price per helmet, more or less?
the unit price is about $429 individually.
Each one?
That's why it's better when you buy them by the dozen.
How many? How much?
400.
$400 each. That's how, I mean, you get it. If you buy it individually, it's about $400. But we usually buy them by the dozen, so they bring them down to like $350. And then after the 11th one, they'll give you the baker's dozen, they'll give you that 12th one free. So that's how we manage to bring the cost down.
Any other questions? So at this point, we have Mr. Bonilla, who has motioned to accept. I got Nora, who has second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Alyssa? Against?
I'm going to abstain for the record, Anna, until we get out of our $50,000 overdraft and see where we're going to get the money from.
Motion passes 601. Tk you.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry, 501, you're right. Correction, 501. All right, item C, discussion action to amend resolution 21 through 27 regarding the retention stipend approved on January 25th, 2021. I believe Mr.
I brought this to the table because I saw that we had some employees that had not gotten anything. I mean, and I know that's the way we passed the resolution of $1,000. And what I'm proposing here, that these people did not get anything, that we kind of give them something, not be $1,000 like part-timers, maybe just half, because I mean, they're still working with us. And then they're on the resolution will be full-time employees hired after January the 25th, the 500, and that also applies to the part-timers and the full-time employees during the fall semester, but after the start of the school, maybe 700. So that's what I want to amend in the resolution. I mean, it's not gonna be that much money, I mean, on the part. Well, yeah, and then. Ms. Guerrero, it's on the resolution that if they resign, I mean, they have to pay back. And we approved it about 2 weeks ago. And I agree with you that maybe, well, I mean, then we should have voted not to give it at that time. I mean, I'm only proposing this, I mean, if you guys don't want to accept it,
Mr. Sedna, when we talked about it in December, we were talking about $1,000 for everybody. I don't think we put any stipulation to it, like part-time or when they were hired. I mean, it comes to us and it has a stipulation. I mean, why did that happen? I mean, I wanted everybody to get $1,000, no matter what, no matter what.
Right, and so if we look at page 10,
I mean, I'm actually looking at 8, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm looking at 8 here, and it says, no, now therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Crystal City and Fiscal District, issue one-time, all that indicates here is full-time employees. I think that's probably one of the reasons some of those part-timers, or even for that matter, interventionists, did not get it. That's just based on what it says here.
Because I think interventionists should get it, especially the one that's worked with us for 15 years and almost has a full-time position with us. I mean, I don't think it's fair that we've left her out twice.
well, I mean, I think the resolution also read that, the people had to have started with us, at the beginning of the year, and maybe that's why we left them out. And that's why I kind of said, well, the part-timers, I mean, we didn't take them into consideration because maybe they were part-timers or whatever, but they're part-timers full-time, so I said, maybe give them half of what the other people. And some of these people, if you look on the agenda, I mean, it has the dates when they started. Yeah, some started very close to the beginning, but then some started in December or after January, and they said, well, maybe give them something. I mean, if you want to give them the $1,000, I don't have any problem with it. I mean, I just want these people to get something.
We approved one, Melissa, a few weeks ago, but it's what kind of bothered me is the dates, the stipulation. I mean, when we talk about being fair, I mean across the board, everybody. You know, I wasn't mentioning dates or times or hiring dates. I mean, to me, if you're working for CCISD, you should have gotten $1,000.
But in the resolution, it didn't say that, and maybe that's why we didn't.
At the same time, I mean, I wasn't talking about dates. I wasn't setting dates or times or when they were hired. I was talking about $1,000 across the board for everybody.
Yeah, but what?
Then it comes to us and it has dates and stipulations.
Well, no, it came to us because the first one said, if you read it correctly, the first one said that only those that had been hired, how did it say, Anna? That's why probably they didn't get it. Maybe we would have changed it there and said, well, I mean, let's include everybody or whatever, but the resolution, we approve what the resolution said. I mean, maybe we could have modified it. I would have voted for it to be modified because I want everybody. But what did it read, the resolution?
page 10.
Paragraph 3. It said the district will provide its current full-time employees that were employed by the district at the beginning of the 2021 school year with a one-time retention employee stipend.
And that's what we approved.
Right.
And I guess we didn't see it, and we thought that everybody was gonna get one.
But go ahead.
This is everybody, teachers. I mean, on the update at the bottom, there's some teachers like Mr. Perez, Palacio. Yeah, I mean,
That was the first stipend.
that was the first type.
That was back in September. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Listen, can we get Mr. Senna to relate to us, Superintendent Churchill's recommendation on this? I understood that we're talking about maybe 5 employees with about $5,000. I'm not saying it's an inconsequential amount, but, Mr. Churchill has been guiding us pretty good at so I'd like to hear what Mr. Churchill has to say on this matter.
His recommendation was just for the board of trustees to discuss and consider to amend this resolution. So he's leaving it up to you guys and whatever you all decide.
Did he say how many? I mean, I'm looking at this list back here, so my question is, you have 13 employees that did not get one back in September.
Those employees are the ones that did not receive the second stipend.
These are the ones that did not receive their second, but they got their first?
There's one or two that have first.
One got it. One got it.
Only one out of the 13?
I think so.
Got hired.
That came in late from the first, and
So, Mr. President, can we
Yeah.
get clear on exactly what direction our superintendent wanted? I'm motion that we table this item to the next meeting.
Okay. So, well, I understand, sir. Mr. Serna, any idea, sir, how many are being requested to get this stipend? Or Mr. Espinosa, do you know?
I mean, what?
I said, from this list here, any idea how many? You want to obviously amend the resolution, but do you know the amount, sir?
Give these people something, I mean, because I don't think it's fair, like if somebody came 2 days after a teacher or teacher A, after, they don't get anything. I mean, the same thing, people came in January, we gave the ones that had started from the beginning of the school year, something, and we're gonna give them for the rest of the year. That's why I said 50%. I just wanted to give them something, I mean, because I think it's only fair, and that's why I put it 700, 500, or whatever. But it's like I'm saying, I mean, I just failed, I mean, I only had one person that told me, how come somebody got it and I didn't get it, and I got it the first time, but the other ones, I started looking into that, and that's why I asked Anna to check with HR how many people hadn't gotten it. And like, we found the part-timers didn't get anything. I said, well, maybe you can give them half. And the other one's kind of, so what's here?
You got Garcia there, Mr. Fernandez?
Yes. Yes.
Here's our.
Ms. Garcia?
For part-timers, do you have a list there in your agenda, Melissa? Page 16? The other ones are full-timers that came in later.
Ms. Garcia again.
Ms. Garcia, you there?
But we didn't approve this, guys, because they didn't get anything, and I just wanted to give them something again. It's up to you guys. So,
No.
the resolution.
So it's not the full
I'd
thousand.
like to remind you that if put a motion on the floor and again, I'm in favor of rewarding our employees. It seems that we don't have a definite number. I really would not want to make a general blanket amendment solution. I'd like to be more specific.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking that we table it for our next meeting.
I'm gonna
I got a
make
motion.
a motion.
I got a motion on the floor by Mr. Bonilla at the table.
What did Mr. Bonilla say? I can't really hear.
Because there's no clarification on the numbers. There's no clarification on the number of who needs a stipend. There's just a list. He wants to table it and bring it back and get the actual numbers.
Okay, and can we include the interventionist and for them to get $1,000? I mean, they're all related to COVID. That's the reason we're doing it. It's not like if these people haven't had it hard during COVID. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that we did it. That's,
Mr. Cruz, would that be an issue to add interventionists to this list?
So they work full-time?
He's full-time? I mean, basically,
Okay. All right, so,
Mr. Trustee, I just want to add that, I mean, what's the difference? We have these part-timers that got it in September. I mean, why didn't they get it this time? And all, I mean, I agree with Mr. Bonilla.
we have a motion on the floor to table the item to get proper numbers by Mr. Bonilla. Any seconds?
I'll second.
I had a second by Ms. Nora Guerrero. All in favor, please raise your hand.
We're tabling it?
Yes. Any against?
All against.
Against? Motion passes 5-1. We will table this item and bring it back to the board. Yes, sir.
Mr. Cruz, and I don't think we should cut him short. I think everybody should get $1,000.
And figure out that information. All right, number 6, closed session. Note the board will hold a closed session as authorized under Texas Government Code 551.071, 551.074 of the Open Meetings Act.
It is 6:49.
6:49, sir.
Mr. Cruz is gonna share his screen.
Okay.